Hello, hello, hello. My name is Agata. My email is dunyazade@gmail.com, and I am also a writer. I write in Portuguese and in English. I haven't written for a while, for many different reasons. My YouTube channel just kind of had my energy for a while, and then there's work, so it's almost impossible to me, at least, to write. I don't have time. I don't have energy. However, I decided to do something new here in my channel, which is, let's call it like a playlist for writers, for those who write, those among us who like to write whatever sorts of books. This is more connected with fiction, okay, fiction writing, any type of fiction. I don't know what you write. I don't know. I don't care. It could be, I don't know, fairy tale. It could be science fiction. It could be horror. Ooh. It could be romance. Whatever it is. You know, I decided that maybe pick a card readings could be helpful. You know, if you're stuck, if you don't know how to develop part of your story, part of your character, whatever, this could be helpful for you. So, and by the way, if you use this, you don't have to give me credit. You don't have to pay me anything. This is yours. This is for whomever finds this reading, okay? You don't have to say that you found inspiration in my tarot reading. You don't have to mention my name. You don't have to pay me royalties. Nothing. Okay? If part of this is helpful, it helps you earn millions of dollars, euros, whatever, I don't care. Keep the money. Good for you. I just want to help you. Okay? So picked option 1 or 2, and the question that I'm asking Tarot is, who's the villain? Who's the villain in your story? Who's your villain? Okay? Who's the villain in the story that you're writing? Maybe you're having some difficulty there. So let's find out who's the villain. Who is the villain? This is going to be a 10-card reading. I'm going to use, for those who picked option number 1, the Alchemical Tarot Renewed 4th edition by Robert M. Place. Great tarot deck that I have wanted for years. So let's see, who's the villain in your story? So who's the villain? Who's the villain? Who's the villain? This is a 10-card reading, and I'm going to use the Celtic cross. Who's the villain in your story? Who's the villain? I'm going to cut, and I'm going to take 10 cards. So 1, ooh, 2, okay, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8, 9, okay, 10. This is interesting. The villain, okay, I'm gonna see like the last card. Oh, the High Priestess. He knows how to hide secrets. He might even be into the occult, you know, witchcraft or something like that. But he knows how to hide secrets. He seems like I'm going to say he, but it could be a woman, okay? I'm going to say he because the King of Vessels showed up and the Emperor showed up. And I'm going to say also that maybe the other person that he's fighting might be the Lady of Staffs, someone connected with a younger energy, a young woman. Let's see if I still have battery. Let me see if I still have battery. Well, it doesn't tell me anything. Anyway. So, the villain is, I'm going to say a man. Late 30s or after the age of 40. It's the King of Vessels, or the King of Cups, from a water sign. Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Now, this guy could be a fat guy because it's the whale. He seems like the type of person that can be very helpful, very, how do I say this? He could seem like this. Like for some of you writers who are tuning in, your villain seems like the helpful type, the one who's always there to help anyone. Okay. For some of you, for others that I'm looking at the whale, and I don't know how much battery time I have. He seems like the kind that maybe, how do I say this? Seems tired all the time, out of breath, because he's fat, he's a bit fat, or just kind of, it seems at first that he's plotting something. Then the person looks at, or the other characters look at him, and it's like, oh no, he's not plotting something. He's just tired, and he's so helpful to everyone. He gives so much of himself, but he's actually plotting something. The other thing that I see is that he appears to give a lot of himself, but he doesn't. He's filling his own cup, you know? He's filling his own cup. Everything that he does is to fill his own cup. This could be money, this could be emotional needs. This is the type of guy he is. Of character, the villain. Now, that which is not seen probably by the characters is the emperor. Who is the emperor? The emperor could be a man with great stability, again, professionally speaking, even in terms of marriage, like the guy that, you know, has stability in his life. But could be also someone in an authoritative position. I'm thinking doctor, but not necessarily. This could be like someone in the police, someone in the army. But this person has authority, okay? This person has authority. The emperor sometimes is, how do I say, very authoritarian. So this is something of him that he hides. He hides the fact that he is authoritarian, that he's really rational. And he does that which needs to be done in order to secure himself, in order to have security. Now, this security, again, could be emotional or in terms of money, okay? So, below the reason, the motive, the root, we have the Two of Wands. Interesting. How can I read this? There's Venus here, Venus and Mercury, Let's say that the root why he became the villain is because he had like a young love when he was young. And maybe that determined something. I don't know in what way. Maybe things didn't work out. Maybe things work out. Maybe he did something that he's not supposed to be doing. Maybe he got the girl pregnant and I don't know, something went wrong. Something from his youth. You know, something connected with passion. Something connected with him not controlling himself, and now he has to control himself. That's why he's a villain. What else? Something connected with children also. Young women, very young women. Now, the Two of Wands is also contemplating something and trying to decide. So maybe he's the type who contemplates stuff, what he wants to do, whatever it is, before deciding. Okay, before deciding to take an action. So he prepares, the emperor also tells me that he prepares before taking action. The past connected with present and the future. We have here the Nine of Swords. So he had problems in the past. Maybe he had depression in the past. Maybe he had to defend himself from something in the past. Some sort of issues. Could be health, could be mental health. Something. You know, like he worried too much. If it's not him, it's what he caused someone. He caused problems to someone. Now, that which is in his head, or that which he wants, there's the Nine of Cups. He wants what he wants. He wants his needs met. He wants to eat as he wants. He wants to drink as he wants. He wants to go to the top of the mountain. There's the Capricorn. He wants to reach a certain prominent position as a leader, okay? He wants to have it all. He wants his needs met. He wants to do whatever the heck he wants to do. Now, the near future, which I don't know in your novel, what can happen? We have here the Seven of Cups. I don't know, some decision that he makes, and he doesn't make the right decision. He thinks that he's making the right decision, but he doesn't make it. Or possibilities and choices connected with this villain's path. You know, maybe some sort of delusion connected with him. Maybe some sort of wishful thinking connected with him. Okay? Now, this card represents him, yes, but it can also represent, sometimes I've seen it this way, people connected with him. Now, we have the Lady of Staffs, which I think it's like the Knave of Wands. I'm thinking this could be like the other person in connection with him. Could be a young girl, young lady, even teenager, that's somehow in conflict with him. And she's fiery, she's enthusiastic, she's full of life, and somehow he doesn't like it. Maybe he doesn't like the fact that she's her own person, and she has her own power, and she's starting to discover her own power. This could be a child book, for instance. There's a young woman, and he's like in butting heads with this young woman. He could be 40s, 50s, she could be teenager, even younger, she could be 20s, early 20s. Now, the next card represents how people see him or someone surrounding him. Also, someone surrounding him. There's the 7 of Wands. He might be seen by some, not by all, as someone really defensive, like defense. But this could be seen in a bad way, in a good way. Like some would say, oh, he's really defending his values. He really defends his values, his high ground, his morals. This is like the thing that he pretends to be, I would say. Others see that he's very defensive. It's not exactly defending his morals, and the high ground is like kind of being right and attacking others for not deciding the way that he wants things to be decided, which makes me think of the decision. There's a decision that needs to be made, I don't know, in your story, and you might attack those who don't decide the way he wants things to be decided. Now, the next card is fears. So some people see him clearly, others don't. The next card is hopes, fears, advice, and there's the 7 of Swords. So let's say advice connected with this villain. Hide everything as much as you can. Or this villain hides himself very well. He stole something, you know. This might be the way. He stole something. He deceived someone. He did bad stuff, hidingly, which also connects with the High Priestess. And so this is not necessarily the occult, more like the hiding stuff. He did something in hiding and stole, I don't know what it is, and maybe that you should keep that a secret until this is discovered and everyone finds out that he's the villain. So the advice would be that try to hide this person as a villain as much as you can and make him steal something. And this will be his demise in your story. Now, the outcome is the 2 of Pentacles. So could be very little money. Could be instability, like emotional instability. That's just, in full bloom, I would say. This could be someone eating someone, metaphorically speaking, like he's devoured by, I don't know, by his own greed. He's devoured by his own instability, his own inability to control himself. He wants to control others, sometimes cannot control himself. But this seems like a very interesting villain. Okay, this seems a very interesting villain. So again, you don't have to give me any type of credit. This is just to help you. And I hope your story is great and sells a lot of copies and you get very, very rich. Okay? So now let's go to option 2. Option 2. Hello, my name is Agatha. My email is dunyazade@gmail.com. I am also a writer. I haven't written in a bit. So I've decided to do something. I decided to help you in your current book, whatever it is. And I'm going to use here the Celtic Cross, which is then 10 card reading. And let's find out about your villain. Let's say that you're having problems with your villain. You don't know how to make your villain. Who's your villain? Let's discover who's your villain. If you use this, you do not have to give me any sort of credit. You do not have to share any type of royalty with me. Okay? This is for whomever writer who finds this reading. So it's just to help you out. So let's find out who's your villain. Who's your villain? So those who picked option number 2. Who's your villain? So 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the opera again. 5, 6, 7. Ooh, 8, 9, 10. It's a family member. Wheel of Fortune. Someone who might not be very stable, or someone who is very rich, had like a change in his fortune and suddenly became very rich. I'm going to go with the guy, could be a woman, okay? So the central card is the 4 of Wands, so it could be someone in your family. Not your family, in your books. So you're writing a book, and the villain is a family. There's the hero and the villain. The villain is part of the family's. Is part of the family of the hero. Okay, is a family member. Could be mom, dad, grandfather, grandmother. I think it's a masculine figure, honestly, but not necessarily. It's someone in the family is the villain. Now that which is not seen, which is hidden more or less, is the 5 of Wands. So there might be conflicts, or eventually there will be conflicts with this person, the villain. So the hero will have conflicts with the villain, or the villain himself is going to have some sort of conflict. The base, the root is justice. So the problems that the villain might have, it's problems with justice, with the court of law, or with another person, another character in your book, who might be a Libra. Okay? The past connected with the present. In the future, you have the Emperor. Okay, so the villain himself, again, or herself, might have had problems also with his father, or his grandfather. Like there's like a masculine figure in his life who also tried to dominate him, who also tried to, was very authoritarian, and this is kind of like he is emulating this kind of. Or maybe he was in the army or in the police force and, had problems there, or developed the way he is in the army or in the police, something like that. Now, that which he wants, that which is in his mind, there's the 7 of Pentacles. He wants to work in his garden. He wants to kind of be left alone and just work alone. I could almost say this, but he wants to gather his money. He wants to, think a little and ponder a lot before spending his money. He wants to grow his garden. He wants to make more money, basically. He wants to grow his garden, metaphorically speaking, and make more money. Now, the near future, which I don't know in your novel, because your novel could be science fiction. I have no idea. You have the 4 of Cups. There might be a period in your villain's story where he has to be at home, okay, where he has to be not moving, where there's like a bit of nothing happening in his life. He could be sick, for instance, and he's just thinking and contemplating during the time where he is sick, or maybe this already happened and all of this made him be the villain. Okay, now the next card might represent him, sometimes not necessarily. There's the 10 of Pentacles. He's a very rich guy. He's a family man. He's a family man. He's respected. He has lots of money. He has a respected family. No one would even guess this guy is the villain, because he's like really happy working on his garden. He might even have a very happy family. The things that possibly is not known is that maybe there's some sort of divorce. There's some sort, oh my God, again, you can use this, you don't have to tell me anything. Maybe everyone thought, oh, this guy has a happy marriage, okay? And his wife is somewhere, his wife is traveling, or his wife got killed. The fact is that his wife didn't want to be married with him again. He didn't want to share anything with him, with her. So there was a conflict, they battled out, and he killed her, and he buried her in the garden. Oh my God, I really hope that's not the case. Another thing is, the wife could have had like a fling, like an affair. He finds out, and he kills not her, but him. the lover, and he buries the guy in the yard. Oh my God. And no one suspects it, okay? And maybe not even his wife, or his wife leaves him, or maybe the things that he says is that, oh, she's spending time with her sister, or something like that. Meanwhile, his wife kind of suspects that he killed her lover. Oh my God. This is like Agatha Christie type of thing. But this guy is respected, and he has money, okay? And the way that he is seen by the others, by the community, is really important to him. Now, how people see him, or someone around him, okay? There's the Ace of Wands. I'm guessing this is more someone around him. The Ace of Wands could represent like a young person, okay? A very young person. So there might be someone young, just came into town, a young, very nosy, very enthusiastic sort of young boy or young girl. I'm thinking more young boy. And he just likes to find out about stuff and discover stuff. Maybe he stumbles upon the garden of the guy, of the villain. He's just very curious about everything. And maybe the villain doesn't like that at all, because he's nosy and just enthusiastic and just, you know, climbing up trees and just talking to people, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, something like that, you know. And he might be a problem to the villain. Now, dreams, hopes, advice, fears. You have the Three of Cups. Okay, how can you use this? This could be that maybe advice for you is that make in the book a group of people who's studying a murder. You know, is trying to figure out a murder. Maybe it could be of this guy, but not necessarily. Or while they're studying a murder that is not been, you know, solved yet, they stumble upon this guy's murder, the emperor, the lover of his wife, of the villain's wife. And through that, they find out that the villain is the villain, okay? That he killed the lover of his wife. Okay, advice also. Advice could be to you, again, as the writer, make things joyful. Make parties. There's parties, and there's people joining in together. There's like lots of groups of people talking, and while they talk, they share information. Like lots of group in one place, enjoying themselves, and, you know, sharing information. In that sharing information, you know, stuff gets discovered. And maybe during these parties, I'm thinking parties, the kid is like let loose. There's even maybe a party near this guy's house, the villain's house, or in his house. I don't know, could be. And the kid stumbles upon something, you know. Or could be like beside the house of the guy. Like the house, there's house A, in house B there's the villain, and the kid goes from house A to house B. Now, the result is the King of Swords. The King of Swords might represent another person. Could be late 30s, after the age of 40. Could be an air sign. Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. This is a very intelligent person. Very rational, non-emotional, makes long-term plans. But this could be justice also. So, now, I'm not thinking this is the guy, this is the villain. It could be. But I'm thinking this is like the policeman who ends up solving the case, or ends up arresting the guy. This is, I don't know. The guy is caught and he goes to justice. That's how I see it. He's found out. Maybe this guy, this 30-year-old, 40-year-old, is fun. He's very funny. He's almost like a comedic, but he's very intelligent. Might represent the Ace of Wands. He makes a new thing. He goes to this place and he has like a second house there, or he goes live there. Maybe he goes there to paint. I don't know, to do something creative. And by that, so it's not necessarily a kid, but someone else, like a guy, and he used to be connected with police or something like that, or investigating things, and he ends up stumbling upon the villain and discovering stuff. Okay, Maybe he's not trying to discover anything. Just, it's like a group of people keeps telling him stuff, you know. He probably, maybe this guy, the King of Swords, kind of just wants to be left alone to his own devices. He likes people. He likes to contact with people, talk to people, but almost by chance, he just finds out all these sorts of things because people keep telling him stuff, and he keeps tying up loose ends. You understand? Connecting this information with that information, and he ends up discovering something that the villain did. Okay, so this is the story for you, the villain. Okay, that's it. That's all that I have. Again, I really hope if you write this, you can tell me. Not necessarily. Okay, it's fully yours. Doesn't matter how many people see this video. Please use it. And I hope you make lots of money with this. Okay, bye bye.